let there be love. I am a stand for love, let there be joy. I am a stand for joy, and we are making a new world now. Yes, we are making a new world now.
Yeah, very good. Thank you, David. Well, it's still our month of power. And there's much power in choosing peace. So today's title is Honoring Courage, Choosing Peace. Are you ready? Good. Okay, let's strap in and get our way through this. Our co-founder, Charles Fillmore, wrote much about peace. And he writes here, war begins in the minds of people. Peace also begins there. Or begins there also, if you can read. So it is our journey to know that we have the capacity for chaos, distress, harm, oppression, anger, resentment, hurt. Anyone ever have those feelings? Anyone have them today? I have, because I'm human. We also have the capacity for peace, for love, for creativity, for reconciliation, for choosing that. Now, trust me that all the chaos comes from our relative small mind in reaction emotionally to them, they, that, is. And all that love and peace resides from our heart center, which is a much more intelligent than anything our brain can do. And it's all working together, but we can choose peace. Now, the interesting thing about that is that we're choosing with what is. There's the eternal, what is there? There's only one power and one presence in the universe and in our lives. Yes? We say it every week. So there's only one power. What is that power? Is God? Love? Is peace? So all we need to do is choose God. All we need to do. Yeah. It's simple. It's not easy. It's very simple. Choose God. So honoring courage is the courage it takes to choose peace. Reverend Ungan Holder, a wonderful prayer ministry. Oh, he's awesome. He writes, to heal is to make peace with what is. And I'll just stop right there, because making peace with what is accepting what is. Most of our pain is caused by arguing with what is. Boy, does that make sense? We keep trying to, if I do this over and over again, maybe it'll resolve the way I want it to. It doesn't work that way. When you argue with what is, you're going to experience pain. So, if to heal is to make peace with what is, just accept what is, we must surrender to the grief. In our human experience, we have much to grieve. Anyone experiencing grief right now? Yeah. It's powerful. We must surrender. What I've found out with grief, When I lived in New York City in the 80s and AIDS came into the picture, everyone, and it's not an exaggeration, everyone I knew in the theater died. Composers, playwrights, actors, dancers. I went to 10, 15 memorial services a week for years. I was constantly in grief. It was war. New York City, and then you'd get contract AIDS and you were dead in 2 weeks. You've come a long way. So you have to surrender to grief. Grief is like a wave, and it will get you wet. And over time, the grief still gets you wet, but you don't get soaked. And grief is cumulative. So if you've had a recent grief experience and then another one shows up in your life, it seems like there's a cup full of grief now. We must surrender to the grief and let it be. Let it get us wet, and then as soon as it passes, we'll return to essence, to peace. When we do, paradoxically, it becomes the only spiritual practice that allows us to heal. Feel it. Let it be. Accept it. Be at peace with what is, and allow the peace of God to sustain you, to heal you, to guide you. It really is the most courageous choice. And we get to choose because we're given free will. We can do it any way we want. So we have to choose peace. The wonderful Myrtle Fillmore, co-founder of Unity, I love Myrtle Fillmore. She's very close to my heart. She writes, those who go through the change called death are really passing through a transition. Your dear one is not going away anywhere. He is abiding in the heart of the Father. Spiritual unity and love and expression are eternal. This is powerful because what we teach unity is that we're one with that infinite presence that's eternal. We're one with unconditional love, with peace and compassion. And in light of that, when this body drops, there's nowhere else to go. There's only God. Now, from our relative view, we think it's just there's you and me, and there's a chair next to me, and there's the outside, and there's the inside, and there's cars, and there's news. All that's just this world that we're in to learn, to choose peace rather than choosing distress and war and conflict. It really is a choice. Because isn't it true when someone says something that irritates us, if we turn to them and blast them with how wrong they are, sorry Ruger, I get excited. He shot up like something's wrong. Gary's loud. Owen's always telling me Gary's loud. Anyway, we'll go back. We have everything we need. And in that, we are honoring the truth that's always true. The presence is always available to us. So when we get into that stressful situation, we might take a breath and react differently than we have in the past. Maybe we say, wow, I've never looked at it that way. Tell me more. And explore a whole different way of having a communication to diffuse it from a situation of conflict to a situation where there's growing understanding, there's communication, there's a willingness to navigate through, and maybe what we find out is we agree to disagree. Spiritual unity and love and expression are eternal. Think about a time you experienced hurt. It doesn't have to be big, just sometime you were hurt. Think about it. Can you feel the hurt? Can you feel the pain? You can remember the pain, but you can't feel the pain again. Now think about a time where you experienced love, where your heart was swelled with love. Now remember that experience. Can you feel the love? Does it radiate through your body to remember that loving moment? Love is eternal. A love you felt when you were 3 years old, or 10 years old, or 20 years old, or 50 years old, or 90 years old, is eternal. It never dies. Love is eternal. Pain is very in the now. It doesn't last forever, and it is not eternal. It can feel like it. We can feel like, oh, doom and gloom, it's going to be like this forever. No, it's not. Honoring courage, choosing peace. So this comes up in Scripture in so many places. Please, by a vowel. Peace is in the Bible a lot. John 14:27. Peace I leave with you. My peace I give to you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled. Do not let them be afraid. Let our hearts be a safety zone for peace. Let our hearts resonate with the truth that we are connected in a mysterious way with all there is and with a benevolent, loving presence. When we choose peace, we can navigate through very difficult circumstances. When we choose peace, we can go home and spend the holidays with the family and not get triggered. I see you know what I mean.
Yes.
What I say all the time, our greatest teachers in our life is our family. And all of our spouses and partners, great teachers. We will learn stuff that we won't learn any other way except through those relationships. And growth is possible. Boy, it's amazing. But the greatest teachers. But the truth is, is we go always turn within and choose peace. If it's a chaotic day, we can stop and breathe. Peace, be still. I am one with peace. I accept peace. And that's a good thing. So our personal exploration this week are 3 questions. So the first question is, how can I become less judgmental? Now, I'm not going to suggest that you try to be completely judgmental free this week. I judged this morning. But it's a journey to become less judgmental means I choose peace in the situation rather than I know I'm right and you're wrong. I know you don't ever do that, but I'm just sharing that's how I act in the world. I'm right and you're wrong. Thank you very much. You can roll the commercial now. How can I become less judgmental? How can I do that? I can stop. I can take a breath. I can pray and meditate. I can write in my journal. I could call a prayer partner, a friend that you can share your heart with. Sometimes it's necessary to just pull off the road because you realize everyone on the road is driving insane. Becoming less judgmental is being courageous and choosing peace instead of judgment and criticism. The second one is, what resentments can I let go of? We all have them. You know which ones you have. Are there any you're ready to let go of? Now, sometimes you sink your claws into a really good resentment, and it gives you enough fire and juice to get through the day. It isn't comfortable. It isn't easy. It's painful, because if we're holding on like that, the shoulders get tense, the neck gets tense, lower back, we get sore, we get tired. Because of resentments. So how about unloading? Okay, this is a resentment I'm willing to let go of. I don't need to be right about this. We can agree to disagree. Forgive. Let go and let God. One of the greatest things I do is to give the resentment to God. Okay, I'm not going to carry this anymore. God, you take it. You know what to do with it. And the third one is, how can I become more loving in my life? First, it's choose it. Make a commitment. Set an intention to be more loving. It is possible to love everyone you see. It's very easy for me to look out and love everyone that I see from here. Very easy. Because it has nothing to do with what you're wearing or how your hair is, what jewelry you're wearing, or whether you're wearing a name tag or not. I love you simply for being who you are. the courage to express and be the divine essence in reality, bringing everything you are to the table. It really is quite beautiful. And if you're not ready to do that and just love everybody, then at least love the people that are close to you. And then maybe just try, I'll love that person in line at the H-E-B store. I'm not saying that this is easy, but it is a choice. And when we resonate with love, we see more things to love. We experience, see, the baby even knows. Like, of course. I know this. That's all the baby knows is love. How beautiful that is. And with that honoring, we are growing into a life where we're not affected by every little disturbance. We open our hearts and we allow people to move through our lives as other wonderful students of love. And that's honoring courage and choosing peace.